Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently fighting off Spain. We're also, I don't think this is exactly correct. When I first fire up the game, the actual amount that we're making here isn't the right amount until I make a change. We can change this and then change it back, and yeah, 143k. That's more like it. That's what I expected, but we're fighting off Spain, and we'll need to wait for the, Spanish side to drop this, but we don't seem to have any way to make a peace deal unless we capitulate, but there are no war goals here. Okay, so there's a save right here. So I'm going to try this. If something goes very badly here, we can revert back to the save that exists literally on this day, because this is right at the beginning of the episode. So that's absolutely fine. So the idea here is Spain would accept the current peace deal. There are no unpressed war goals because this country no longer exists. This war has no reason to exist. So I think if we just capitulate, there are no war goals targeting us. I think. Yeah, there were no war goals targeted on us. And now Oldenburg is dealing with this. We can declare neutrality here in theory, but now we're making a bunch of money, so maybe we don't need to. We can lean towards Oldenburg and see if we can get revolutionary Oldenburg just to back down. We're not going to try to join that, but I think that'll be fine. As far as I can tell, nothing was lost by that quote-unquote capitulation. It's a weird way to handle that. No war goals existed anymore. I would have expected that war to just cease to exist. But that does not seem to be the case. Okay, looks good. So we're going to tick on forward for now. And everybody's leaning towards Oldenburg, obviously. That's to be expected. Our GDP is continuing to skyrocket here. Wow, I can't talk all of a sudden. We're continuing to skyrocket here. We have well surpassed France again. That's wonderful. And we're paying down our debt. So this is all good. We're constructing at maximum speed for the moment. And overall, I think this is great. So let's take a look at our market access here. Low market access in West Prussia. We're already building a railway there. So that is magnificent. Trade routes do need convoys. So we wouldn't mind constructing a few additional ports. We can build those in Hanover. And let's just get those built. Apparently they're free? I don't know that that's accurate, but we'll see. We're going to join over here. Hopefully that gets revolutionary Oldenburg to back down. They don't actually have any battalions currently mobilized. They will get battalions. They're currently uncertain. Austria just leaned towards Oldenburg. So did Spain. Beautiful. Well, they're leaning Oldenburg. They're not actually joining. And I don't think they're going to. Okay. So we are fighting revolutionary Oldenburg. This is not going to be a very difficult war. We are just going to mobilize these guys, and we're going to advance the front in the... We've already got people here, apparently. So we want this to be in this front. I think. We have forces on the way. They'll arrive there now. Cool. So the battles are commencing. And the war should be over. There should be nothing else to be done here. So it'll just take some time, I think, for their war support to drop off. But they are fully occupied. So that'll be good. And Oldenburg is currently genial towards us. Now, the reason I joined this is because I'm interested in seeing if we can get them into our confederation. Now, currently, they're not interested in joining our customs union. But we'll see. Currently, they're not interested in that. But it seems fine. Fantastic. So we are continuing to expand our GDP dramatically. Absolutely dramatically. Our number of radicals has also continued to decline. That's really good. I'm very glad about this. Our number of loyalists is increasing. That's good too. We should consider bumping up our government wages. Our military wages are already up. Can we get away with dropping our taxes as well? The remarkable answer to that is almost. We can drop them down to high taxes for sure. So we'll go ahead and do that and spend down our credit a little bit. Our investment pool is declining as well. So that's noted. We're just going to have to be a little cautious here. So that seems reasonably fine. Now, I want to investigate what other decrees we might want to go for. Social mobility, agriculture, resource, sure. Migration attraction. Now that's interesting. I wish we could see, like, how many unemployed there are here. I feel like these map modes need work. I'll be honest. And also, apparently, I feel like sneezing. So that's perfect. But I feel like these map modes could give us more information. There's no doubt about that. We can probably back off on some of our violent suppression, I think. In fact, probably about all of it. How much turmoil are we actually dealing with here? There is some. We might want to keep it in place for the time being. But I guess that's okay. Cool. So the number of radicals is continuing to level off. Or not really level off, continuing to decline. That's exactly what we want. Our loyalists are leveling off a bit. But as long as the radicals are dropping, that's what's most important here. So that's cool. We're going to finish up a bunch of construction here soon. Glassworks and our porch and coal mines. That's all looking good. Absolutely great there. What else do we potentially have going on here? We've got some expensive government goods, but more importantly is these input goods shortages. Now, silk is made in synthetic plants, which we can make. So the question is, let's see, we are currently making some silk, yes. Cool. So we should definitely look at expanding our synthetics plants. Now, is that going to actually be profitable is a question. Doesn't matter, though. We're running an input goods shortage. So maybe it doesn't really matter, but it would actually end up being profitable. So let's do a fairly large-ish expansion, bringing these all up to level 5. Okay, we'll get that underway. And that'll be great. Now, of course, this war is going to end soon. I want to make sure that there's... Oh, there is a front we could... No, there isn't a front. Okay. There's no front that we can advance. That's to be expected. This war will be ending very shortly. And there we go. Beautiful. So now that we assisted Oldenburg with that, they jumped over to cautious towards us. Because they view us as a militarily threatening neighbor. But yet they wouldn't be interested in, like, a defensive pact. That's interesting. Well, we're still working our way up. So I guess that's fine for now. What is this? Netherlands wants a trade agreement. Done. Cool. Our population is continuing to increase. 1.31% is not bad. I definitely am feeling like migration attraction would be good. Here's a question, though. Is there any map mode where we can see the number of people who aren't gainfully employed? Yes. But what I really want to see here is the number of unemployed and the number of open jobs juxtaposed. That would be what would be most useful for the greener grass campaigns. That said, we can do 3 of these. And I'm going to do one in Westphalia, one in Brandenburg, and I think one in Silesia or West Prussia. Something like that. Now, I'd like to cancel our violent suppressions, which we will certainly do, which is allowing us to issue additional greener grass campaigns. So I'd like Posen, West Prussia, and then I think like Hanover for our oil industry, perhaps, and then like Mecklenburg. And then we'll keep the rest of our authority. Well, enactment time isn't that important, actually. So we could get like North Rhine as well. So that's going to hopefully give us a whole bunch of migration attraction. Cool. Which will hopefully increase our population by a decent amount. So we'll keep an eye on that. We're hoping to see this annual projected pop growth, or maybe not the actual pop growth, but the population overall to come on up. Our standard of living is continuing to increase across the board. That is magnificent. We're currently overall secure, but it's not as good as I'd necessarily like. Now, we do have expensive oil, but we don't have a lack of oil. I would like to import oil, but those are some terrible import routes, so we'll hold off on that for the moment. Now, I'm noting that we're barely making money right now, but our investment pool is empty, and that would be why. So this seems good to me. Our synthetic plants are going to be done in a while. Oldenburg is supporting Austria. How rude. How could you, Oldenburg? After we just rescued you from your rebels that had no army? How rude. How very, very rude. So what else are we interested in going after here? Brunswick would be a good option. Let's take a look here. I would like to propose a trade agreement or really invite them to a customs union. They have 131 reasons not to do that because they're cautious. Okay. They view us as a militarily threatening neighbor. We've never done anything to threaten them militarily. That's the thing. Okay, so we've got about 29 years left. We need to keep that in mind. This game only lasts 100 years. So that is definitely intriguing. Glassworks are expanding to level 48 over here. That's great. Workers of the world. Cool. So, Prussian relations towards Krakow, huh? Sure. We'll go ahead and allow that. Fantastic. So our turmoil... Oh, what is this? A different radical Finland versus Russia, huh? We're going to declare neutrality on that one. Cool. So that'll be absolutely great. Also, I'm noting there's, on like this latest version, there seems to be some like frame rate issues. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to try turning off the maximum FPS. See if that helps it. No, it seems to be about the same. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm pretty sure we're not bottlenecked on my system, although I can double check that. Let's see here. Yeah, we're definitely not bottlenecked on my system. This is just a Victoria 3 problem, it seems. So, we can just turn off the MSAA. I don't think that's a huge deal here. And I just want to turn the frame rate cap back on for power management reasons. There we go. Okay. I'll look into that maybe a little bit after the episode is over, but that'll be fine for now. Cool. So our constructions are ongoing, very much so. And we're going to be finishing the synthetic plants expansions soon. What is this? Hello. A defensive pact with Brunswick. Accepted. That's these guys here. They're now genial towards us. So, would they be interested in a customs union? Not quite. Interesting. Not quite. We don't need to do any incorporations, do we? No, we already did those. So that's absolutely fine. No problem there. Cool. And these synthetic plants are about 7 weeks until completion. Well, until they start completing, anyway. So that'll be fine. We're continuing to spend down our credit, and this is all looking good. Our economy looks quite healthy at this point. So I'm quite pleased with this. I do want to get this area put together a little bit. So ultimately, I would like to get some of this stuff done. I mean, Pomerania, Elbe, Westphalia, yeah. That'll probably bring us into conflict with Austria, but I would definitely like to get that going. What does Saxony think of us? I'm going to begin relations with Saxony as well. Okay, cool. And in retrospect, I probably would have begun some of this diplomatic stuff earlier on if I had understood how it all worked. So now that I have that understanding, things will definitely be a little bit more aggressive on the diplomatic side. Indonesia versus France, huh? Or Netherlands, actually. We're just going to declare neutrality. We don't have any interest in Indonesia, so that's fine. We're expanding our synthetic plants, and rubber and sugar is not things that we can produce, unfortunately. So we can import some sugar from the Austrian market and the American market, and like a lot of things. We can just get that going for now. I want to make sure, I believe we have all of our ports maxed out that we possibly can. That is accurate. So we're running low on convoys, and there's not a lot that we can really do about that. Okay, let's take a look at some of these guys. They would accept a trade agreement, but they wouldn't quite accept a customs union. Okay, noted. How about Hamburg? What are they thinking? They're genial towards us and amicable. They would form an alliance. But what we really want is that customs union, I think. Like, we want them to join our confederation, ultimately. We are going to get these migration controls finished, which I don't necessarily love. I'm just thinking, if we canceled this, how likely would these guys be to actually have a revolution? I don't know. Our radicals reduction has leveled off. So that's a bit of a concern. Hypothetically, if we were to cancel this, these guys are now placated. I'm just wondering what this revolution would look like. Obviously, we're going to start dropping here. But let's take a look. We don't actually want migration controls, to be clear. So we'll see. We'll see what that ends up looking like. The rural folk, they may not actually, like, the petite bourgeoisie may not actually do anything here because we're actually paying good government wages at this point. Can we afford to drop to medium taxes? Yes, actually. And so we shall. Cool. So we drop our taxes. What is this going on? A diplomatic play in the Nile. We don't care. We have no interest in that whatsoever at this time. Okay, so Bremen is genial plus 200. Relations are cordial. I would like to bring those relations up a little bit further. But the customs union is what we really want here, right? So we don't appear to be able to customs union some of these guys up here. Grant independence. Oh yeah, that's right. They wanted to become our protectorate. Can we annex them? I'm not sure that we can. If we were to grant them independence, Would they join our confederation? They're loyal and amicable. So that's a hard maybe. We no longer need them to connect us up, right? That's no longer a thing. So we could grant them independence. I'm not seeing a way to annex them as a protectorate, so that may be our best bet. Let's give it a go. I may regret this later. Okay, so if we then come in here, they would not quite accept an invitation to our customs union. It's close, though. Noted. So relations are amicable and they are genial. I would like to bump up our relations here. So, let's see. Oldenburg is one that we don't appear to be able to pull into our confederation. If I'm reading this... No, Oldenburg we can't. Let's see here. Brunswick we could. And Saxony... Saxony doesn't have the option to bring into the customs union. So, I believe that we need to stop improving relations with Saxony and start improving relations here. Which we apparently cannot do because they need to be less than amicable. Noted. They would accept a defensive pact. So if we were to do that instead... Oh. France started another African play. We don't care about that. Now, we did dip down into debt, or rather into deficit here very briefly. So here's a question. Apparently... Okay, noted. Apparently, the defensive pact does not increase their desire to join a customs union. The alliance we cannot do, I believe, because we are currently involved in the French situation. Let's see here. Oh, we need multilateral alliances for that. Okay, noted. That's reasonably fine. So eventually we want this customs union. Their GDP is tiny compared to ours, and I don't think this is going to increase anymore. I don't care about that front. It's completely fine. It's completely and totally fine. So, Brunswick. It seems like if they would accept it, they offer it themselves. That's what it seems like. So we need this to go up to level 50 to even have a chance. How many reasons do they have against it? Okay. Their attitude would need to be increased, which they don't seem to be interested in doing for now. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Now, I don't really want to try to perform any unilateral hostile actions at this time. We probably could get away with it. But, I mean, I don't want to get Austria involved, although if France is involved, maybe we don't care about Austria. Correction, we probably care about Austria, but France is the #1 great power. So we're the #1 and the #2 great powers against the #3. So that's noted. Now, also noted is the fact that we're currently in deficit, barely. I'm expecting that to flip around as we finish up a bunch of these constructions. Eventually. Right now, though, we are in a little bit of deficit. I'm not too concerned about that. Now we're in surplus. Okay, that's good. That's very, very good. I want to check in on our radicals. Our radicals have drifted down a bit. Ah, we now have access to bolt-action rifles for our arms industries. So that's probably something that we should get. We know that our military tech isn't great. So let's grab bolt-action rifles here. There we go. We'll get those swapped over. And as far as our actual tech goes, we are very close here to grabbing compression ignition, but I'm not sure how much we actually want to run this, because that will increase our reliance on oil. So there is that. I would not mind working our way through some of this military stuff. Realistically, automatic machine guns is possibly a good thing for us. Let's go ahead and start working on that. Yes, I know that we didn't finish the engines, but again, I'm not sure that we want to actually enact that because we already have a bit of an oil shortage going here. So that seems reasonably fine. It is, however, about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll keep an eye on this deficit, which is currently growing a bit. I'm wondering, are we having some market access issues? A little bit, yeah. I'm guessing that these are already constructing. Let's see, Silesia is building a railway. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, MLohan80, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Unisil, Kadra, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And, of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.